Andy Geddes. I joined the Army in September 1976 when I went to the Junior Regiment, Royal Armoured Corps at Bovington. Leaving the Army for me was quite traumatic because I didn't want to leave. You know, the last week that I should have been, or the time that I should have been doing resettlement and sorting the rest of my life out, you know, I was still going into work because I just tried to blank it out, but you can't do that, you know. And then Tuesday morning I woke up and that was me. I wasn't in the Army anymore, and it was a big shock, and it hurt, I suppose, if I'm honest. The thought that the Army didn't want me anymore or need me, and it is something you have to get over. You know, your behaviours have to change. You know, my sort of the way I conducted myself in the Army, I certainly couldn't do that in Civvy Street. Just the way I'd behaved and the jobs that I'd done. You don't have them jobs in Civvy Street, and you have to change rapidly, otherwise you end up getting yourself into trouble. My time, I've been really fortunate to be part of two regiments that the family ethos was always there, and people did care about you. Certainly in the 1318th, you know, I've got friends that I made when I was 18-year-old who are still friends now, and that carried on after amalgamating the Light Dragoons. And you know, it's one of the reasons I'm here today, because I do care about what happens to people. Having gone through that experience of leaving the Army, like everybody has, and not everybody has problems, but some people do. And if you don't have that help there, and that support that you did while you were in the Army, it might not have been official, but you know, you had people around you who would look after you. More recently, last week or the weekend, I lost my dad. So again, the amount of support and messages I've had from people that, you know, I've not seen for years, who know about it, and it's all through that military tie-in, you know, so hundreds of messages which have been really helpful. I suppose a different thing about it is the Light Dragoon element and the 1318th and 1519th element, which are also part of it as well. And it, again, for me, it goes back to this family ethos. You know, if one of us is in trouble, somebody will always be there to help. I know there's help for heroes and other things are out there, but this is more personal, and I think hopefully because it is personal and there's a chance that you may get to speak to somebody that you know, that it will make people who may be going through a rough patch maybe find it difficult to speak, but knowing that there's somebody that they know will speak to them on the same level as they want to be spoken to, and they're used to being spoken to. Somebody's there to give them that help, that push that they just need to get, whether it be treatment or whether it just be some information and guidance to get them back on the straight and narrow. As soon as you tell somebody, it can lift a weight off your shoulders, and it can make things just seem so much better. Just the fact that you've talked to somebody about it, you've got it out of your head. You know, you've found somebody that'll sit there and listen to you and won't point the finger at you and you know, tell you you're wrong or whatever, or you know, in the old days it would be just get on with it, you know, and you probably wouldn't have dreamed of speaking to somebody because you knew what the reaction would be. It would be just get a bit of backbone, get on with it, you know. But whereas you know, today that's not what people need. Being part of this group will hopefully, you know, people will be aware of that and know that that's the response, that they're going to get the right response. That normally is the biggest problem with soldiers, actually getting the guts up to go and tell somebody you've got a problem, because you might think it's the end of the world, but there will be somebody around you that's either been through it or knows somebody that's been through it and can help you. And because if you don't do something about it, what potentially is a small problem will just escalate and escalate. And when you go out into into Civvy Street and there aren't people there who will help you as readily as what your sort of close-knit family, friends that you make while you're serving, they're not around, and things can go downhill rapidly. So, you know, the idea behind the support group here, I just think is brilliant, and I'm really pleased to be part of it. Just pick the phone up. You're going to speak to somebody who knows where you're coming from, and will listen to you, and they will give you some decent advice.